You care too much about what they think, what they say, whether they notice, whether they approve, and it's exhausting. You try to play it cool, but your mind is loud. Every silence feels like judgment. Every glance feels like a test. You want to be seen, respected, valued. But the more you care, the less at peace you feel. Because caring too much isn't kindness, it's bondage. And the Stoic knows, when you give others control over how you feel, you give them control over who you are. It doesn't start loud, it starts subtle. You laugh when it's not funny. You agree when you disagree. You shrink so others feel tall. And slowly, you trade authenticity for acceptance. But here's what the Stoic sees. The need for approval is endless. The more you chase it, the less you own yourself. Because no matter how much you adjust, someone will still disapprove. And when your worth is built on external opinions, you're always in danger of losing it. So the Stoic makes a different trade. He chooses peace over popularity, alignment over applause. Caring isn't weakness, but when it becomes dependency, it poisons your peace. The Stoic cares, but with boundaries. He listens, but he filters. He connects, but he doesn't cling. Because freedom isn't about isolation. It's about detachment from what you can't control. And you can't control how people see you, how they receive your words, how they interpret your silence. The more you try to manage their perception, the more you lose your center. So here's the reset. First, reclaim your attention. Every time your mind drifts to, what do they think? Bring it back to, what do I know? Second, protect your silence. You don't owe an explanation for every move you make. Let your consistency speak louder than your need to be understood. Third, shift your focus. Instead of asking, do they like me? Ask, do I respect how I showed up? Because that's the real question. Not if they approve, but if you're proud of who you're becoming. The Stoic doesn't perform for the crowd. He doesn't chase applause. He acts from principle and lets go of the rest. He knows that peace isn't found in people. It's found in alignment, between values and behavior, between truth and action. So if your peace feels unstable, it's not because of them. It's because you outsourced your self-worth. And the Stoic? He brings it home. He cuts the cord. Not from connection, but from dependency. Some people spend their whole lives trying to be liked, and in the process, they forget who they are. But the Stoic asks a better question. Not, do they accept me? But, have I accepted myself enough to be unchanged by their opinion? Because here's the real test. If everyone stopped clapping, would you still show up like someone who deserves to be respected? When you stop trying to be everything to everyone, you start becoming something unshakable to yourself. If that question made you pause, subscribe, and hit the bell. Not for noise, but for clarity, for reminders that bring you back to strength.